Welcome to the first ever Formula Omega race. It's the Monaco Grand Prix. Double points, double length, double having many finishes by the end of it. Elise on pole, Joss alongside, Kim in third. Who's going to be first into the first corner? And it's good getaway from Elise. One of the top drivers, pretty much staying in the same places that they started in. And I'm trying to make a move past Aubrey as they got the hill, but there's no space there. So, it's Elise who leads, followed by Josh. The two of them beginning to put a gap over the rest of the pack. The only position changes we've had so far are Angel and Chris, who have gained position over Izzy and Jack. Out front, Elise is extending her lead. The gap is now in 2 seconds at the end of the first lap. Josh more than a full second further ahead of Kim in third. She's then closely followed by Amber and Gemma. Here's the battle for 7th place. Aubrey looking like he's holding up Anna at this stage. Anna is very close to Omri. Very difficult track to overtake, so got a significant pace advantage. Still very difficult to get through. As Elise extends her lead out to over 3 seconds at the end of lap 2. And so far, Elise is dominating this race. We'll see whether she can keep that up over the course of 36 laps. Here's the race for third. Kim ahead of Amber, ahead of Gemma. We're now 5.5 seconds off the lead. So she's not able to stay with the leading two. Greg's not so far behind this group either. It'll be very interesting to see what kind of fuel strategies that everyone's running. Everyone in this race has to make 2 pit stops at minimum for fuel and tyres. We'll be expecting everyone to, unless they have some kind of problem that forces them to make an extra one. If you don't make the required number of pit stops, you'll be given a penalty, of course. Out of the race with some kind of technical problem. He's parked at the bottom of the hill and he's about to be pushed off the track. It seems it's a suspension issue, which is a very common issue to have around here. The track is very bumpy and can easily bend the suspension. So Jack's being removed off the track. He is the first retirement in Formula Omega. First of many, I suspect. Elise then extending her lead out to nearly 5 seconds after just 4 laps. This is an incredible performance, but there's still a very long way to go. Here's Anna trying to get past Omri up the hill again. It's very difficult to find a space through there. On board with Anna. Omri does seem to be lacking grip through the corners. He's already 14 seconds adrift of the lead. And 5 seconds off the car in front. And it seems like all of the cars in the lower end of the top 10 are definitely being held up by him right now. Can Anna find a way through? Indeed, the train behind Omri extends back into place. So he's really struggling right now. Although it does seem like Mia's not quite on the back man, so perhaps she is holding up everything. Of course, we'll see what everyone... as Michael trying to get past Alba. No space there. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of pace everyone has when we know how much fuel they're all carrying. So they're carrying a few more laps of fuel. but that'll cost you a few tenths of a second per lap. Of course, you'll gain an advantage later in the race, as Omri makes a mistake, touches the outside wall, and Anna is unable to get through. It's pretty clear that Omri is struggling for grip in that tax car. Everyone back to Izzy in 18th position, being held up by Omri at the current point in the race. Here are the positions on lap 7. Elise still extending her lead by more than a second every lap. And Mia's dropping down the order. It looks like she's got some kind of problem. She's dropped right back to 18th place. We'll see if she comes into the pits at the end of this lap. And as expected, into the pits comes Mia to fix some kind of issue. Let's see if it's something that the pit crew can fix. If it's just a tyre issue, a slow puncture, or a loose wheel for instance, it may be that they can fix it. And it seems that they have. She is right down to last place of those that are still running. It's Elise who leads now by 9 seconds ahead of Josh. There's a further 5 ahead of Kim. She's doing a good job to hold on Amber and Gem. We'll see whether there's any chance of a position change between this group of cars when we get to the first pit stops. We're expecting the first stops for fuel and tyres to start very soon. We're approaching 1/3 distance. Let's see if anyone comes in this lap. And it looks like they're all staying out. The issue is, of course, that if you pit early, you run the risk of coming out behind a slower car. It's not what people want at this track in particular. But here is someone making an early pit stop. It's Michael. Where will he come out the pits? Presumably ahead of Mia. Will he be ahead of anyone else? Doesn't look like it. It's just behind Dan and Callum, as Dan locks up a bit there. And that could go quite badly for Michael, because there's a good chance that he'll be held up by the cars in front. Quite remarkable that no one's crashed yet, to be honest. First race of the season. Double length race at Monaco. Approaching 1/3 distance, so we've still only got one retirement. Kim locks up. Very lucky to avoid the wall there. Is she going to hold on to her position? She'll compromise her exit out of Casino Square. There's no room for Amber to get past. But that has closed Amber and Gemma and Gray right up to her. These four now covered by barely a second. Into the pits comes Gemma, the first of the top 10 to make a pit stop. Six seconds, not quite as quick as what Michael did. As we've got Elise off, an engine failure for the race leader, and she is out of the race. I did wonder whether she could maintain that pace for the whole race. She was extending her lead by well over a second a lap, every single lap. And it seems like the engine just couldn't take it. Very unfortunate for her. She was on her way to a comfortable win, but Elise will now be scoring 0 points in the first round of the season. Very disappointing for her. This now means that Josh is our race leader. He has a lead of about 7.5 seconds over Kin. And so long as the same thing doesn't happen to him, he's in a very good position to win this race. Into the pits comes Amber. In 3rd place. Greg follows her in. Who's going to be first out of the pit stop? It all comes down to which of these two pit crews can get those tyres and fuel change more quickly. Amber has the slower stop, but Greg has to wait. So Amber retains the position. But where are the two going to be out relative to Gemma, who's just made her pit stop? They are both behind. And I do think that means that Gemma has taken that position away from Amber. But now she's going to have the issue of getting past the slower cars. We're on, at this point, quite old tyres. Pace difference is going to be significant. Into the pits comes Kim from second place. Fresh set of tyres go on. 5.2 seconds, but she has to wait for Omri and Alba. Just enter the pit lane. And that's going to cost her a few critical seconds. And that's put her behind Gemma. Through goes Amber. And will Greg go through as well? Not quite. Kim has lost out 2 positions as a result of being held up in the pit lane there. So given the gap to Gemma, it's quite possible that Gemma would have been through anyway. Certainly I think that cost her the position to Amber though. And the gap was 2.7 seconds. That's roughly how long she was waiting. Josh continues to lead the race then. Still yet to make his first pit stop as Anna comes into the pits from second place. Doesn't look like the quickest stop. It isn't, only 6.8 seconds. Well, that proved costly. She comes out of the pits just behind Omri and ahead of Alba. While Alex comes up the pits just behind Alba. Not a great race for Alex so far. He made a mistake on his qualifying lap, which put him about 10 places lower on the grid than he would have been expecting. He would have been expecting to be in the top 5 with the kind of pace he's been having in the test races. And they're not exactly making his way through the pack quickly. Few drivers that are still out on the tyres that they started on. Notably, out towards the front, this of course includes our race leader, who has a comfortable pit stop margin ahead of Karen, 23 seconds. Can easily come into the pits and get out still in the lead. Karen and Connor decide that they've had enough of their old tyres and come into the pits. Very long run from the race leader though. Of course, as Connor has to wait for Carrot, and Carrot is through. I don't think that's a change of position though. That's the order they were in anyway. But they're going to come out of the pits into the train behind Daniel and Callum. Those two are very slow in qualifying, and seem to be going pretty slowly in the race. I don't think either of them have made their pit stop yet, and they're holding up quite a few cars. Here's our race leader in the pits, making those hard tyres go very long in the first stint. Nice pit stop, 5.9 seconds. And he should get out still with a comfortable lead. Second place is Angel. He's one of the last ones not to stop. Along with Izzy. Izzy will come into the pits. Angel will stay out. He's nearly on half of the race now in this first stint. Will that pay off for her later? What she is doing is very much holding up the battle for second place. Or what will be second place once everyone's made their pit stops. Still very tight between Gemma and Kim, with Greg not too far behind. And will be very unhappy with that time lost in the pit stops. It seems to have cost her 2 positions. Angel going to come into the pits this lap. She does, finally. Just 16 laps completed. And this will release Gemma, Amber, Kim and Greg. It's going to be very interesting to see which of these 4 has the pace to take second place. Of course, we still have one more round of pit stops, which will probably shuffle up the order of these 4 once again. It does seem like Amber's definitely got the pace to stay with Gemma right now. The soft tyres giving her plenty of grip. Omri is out of the race. He's lost a wheel. I assume he's crashed it at the top of the hill. Let's have a look at the replay. Omri was running in 6th place, understeers into the wall. The wheel comes off, and that is the end of his race. That was a critical mistake from Omri. Let's hope that that wheel doesn't roll into the track. It seems to have stopped. He'll be pushed safely away. That now leaves Anna running in 6th place. Alba 7th, Alex 8th, Lawrence 9th, and Angel moves up into 10th position. Meanwhile, on the hard tyres, Gemma in 2nd place is actually starting to catch Josh. Both of these running the hard tyres, which you'd expect to be going much better at this stage of the race, with the tyres having worn down a bit since the pit stops. And it does look like this Team Lennon car is the quickest car on the track right now. Gemma has about half the race left to catch Josh, but that should be more than possible. The pace difference that she's showing right now. Josh losing his lead by about a second a lap. Here's Greg trying to get past Kim. As Kim slowing down. Does Kim have some kind of problem? Or did Kim have just a poor exit off the chicane? Greg now through into 4th place. And with Kim dropping back quite quickly, it looks like Kim has some kind of problem. Let's see if she comes into the pits. Is this an unfixable problem? She does. And she might be able to fuel to the end. It will be a struggle to get those soft tyres to do 16 laps. 17 laps. 4.6 seconds. Great pit stop. It must have been some kind of wheel problem. They could fix it that quickly. And Kim will come out right back in the pack. Down in 15th place. So if Kim does have to make another pit stop, that's probably the end of her chances of scoring any kind of serious points today. Let's see what happens. So here's our race leader. Josh's lead now down to just 7.4 seconds ahead of Gemma, with 16 laps to go. Very much still all to play for. In 3rd place, Amber's pretty much back in the leader's pace. And we'll see what Greg can do now that he's out from behind Kim. There 19 cars still running in this race. And I would say most of them have a shot of points. The gaps are very small all the way back down to Alp in 17th. So there's a lot of potential for position changes during the next round of pit stops, which is going to be coming up very soon. It's pretty clear that at this stage of the race, though, Gemma is the car to beat. The question is, can she get past Josh during the pit stops? Because otherwise, she'll have to get past on the track. And we've seen already how difficult that is here. As Anna comes into the pits, first to make a scheduled 2nd stop, it seems. How quick will this be? 5.9 seconds, not bad. Where will she be out relative to Kim? You'd expect behind. There is that train that Kim's part of, and there goes Kim. So assuming that Kim doesn't have to stop again, that is the position. And given that Anna was the car directly behind Kim at the very bottom, it seems like for now, that technical problem has only cost her 1 position. Gemma is in the pits from 2nd place. Absolutely critical stop for Team Lennon. And it's 5.6 seconds. Not bad at all. really, the gap to Josh is still about 5 seconds. So she's really going to have to try and gain as much time as possible. As Greg goes through, that will not help with that at all. She'll now be held up by Greg, who has yet to make his second pit stop. This is a huge advantage to Josh then, who is still leading the race. And now has his main rival's strategy compromised. Amber pits from second place. And she at the pits ahead of Alba and Alex. She's been held up. She has to wait for Greg. I think that will probably cost her any chance of that. Alba coming down the start-finish straight now, and Amber will be behind. Of course, Alba is still yet to stop. As Angel trying to take the opportunity to get past Lawrence. There's no room there. Amber is ahead of this group of cars. Amber does have a clear track in front of her. Definitely help her. Now, Amber is not really under pressure in terms of like many other cars on the same strategy. So Greg's out of the pits, ahead of Karen and Connor, who have not made their second pit stops yet, and more importantly, ahead of Kim and Anna, who have. So Gemma sets the fastest lap of the race. Of course, with Greg having pitted, she's now been released to try and set the fastest lap she possibly can on those fresh tyres. You'd lose about 17 to 18 seconds making a pit stop here. So Gemma can reduce the gap to less than that before Josh's pit stop, then she has a good chance of getting past. Currently 21.6, still enough for Josh to retain the lead. So Josh comes out of the pits with a 5.1 second stop. The gap to Gemma was 19.4, and I would expect that he will retain the lead. Let's see where Gemma will be. Comes out of the pits. Gemma comes across the start-finish line, and the gap is about 2 seconds. But critically, with 9 laps to go, with all of the stops completed, Josh is our race leader. So if Gemma's going to take the lead, she's going to have to do it on the track. Meanwhile, Alba in the pits. 5.2 second stop. She'll be happy with that. Where is it going to put her out? As Connor is out of the race. Very unusual place to stop. It must be some kind of technical problem. But that car does not look like it's going anywhere. Unfortunate for Connor. I think he did have a shot at a few points in it. But it's definitely not happening, as his car is out with a transmission failure. Alba's come out of the pits ahead of Kim. And that is pole position. Let's not is clearly struggling on those old soft tyres at this point, holding up Anna, Callum, Alex, and Lawrence. Callum yet to stop in that field. He's not having a good race at all. And Angel and Izzy come into the pits. Which one of these two can have the quickest pit stop? Izzy's behind. But if Izzy can make a good pit stop, then Angel's pit crew will be forced to wait. That does not happen. A much quicker stop from Angel, and she will retain the position. Now just behind Chris, who has made his second pit stop. And that hasn't really worked for either of them, it must be said. I think Angel's lost out with running on the second stint. Here's the battle for the lead. Gemma has closed up to the back of Josh, despite the fact that Josh has a few laps fresher tyres. And to find a place to get past, it's so difficult here. He's got the gap down to 0.6 of a second. And it looks like this race is going to go down to the closing laps. Karen, one of the last to make his second pit stop. Are we going to see him lose places as a result of that soon? Callum in as well. Karen drops well outside the points. I'm at the pits in 13th place. Chris has driven a great race. He gained a few places off the line. He's gained places around the pit stops. And now from 19th on the grid, he's into the points paying position. If anything goes wrong with the cars at the front, he'll be on for a load of points here today. He definitely wouldn't have been expecting that 20 minutes ago. As Angel makes a small mistake on the entrance to the tunnel. It does not allow Izzy a chance to get through. So that mistake will not cost Angel a position. She gets away with that. Meanwhile, Josh just half a second ahead of Gemma now. Gemma pretty much as close as it's possible to get. Can she get the slipstream through the tunnel? It looks like that Squirrels a Bad car does have the pace in a straight line. Hold her off there. And to be honest, there aren't many other good opportunities for an overtake unless Josh makes a mistake. Josh does make a small mistake to pin the outside wall back. Gemma closes right behind, but no space to get through. To look for another opportunity. As they're coming up to some lapped cars, we've got Michael and we've got Dan battling for 17th place in this race. Dan defends the position, and these two are going to have to let the two leaders through, or are supposed to let the two leaders through when they catch up. But is this going to give Gemma an opportunity to get through? 6 laps to go in the Monaco Grand Prix. Still go either way. Dan going defensive against Michael. Michael forced to go across the curve. These two seem to be so focused on each other, they're not letting the leaders through. Now there's no penalty for not letting the leaders through, but it's generally seen as the polite thing to do, as Dan and Michael are not racing these two. Josh trying to get through around the outside, and that's going to let Gemma through on the inside, and Gemma takes the lead. Have a look at that again. So Josh trying to go past the lapped car, or trying to lap Michael, goes into the outside wall. Lucky to get away without damage, but it has cost him the lead of this race. Here it is from Gemma's perspective. You see, he decides to follow Michael. This gives her the space on the inside. And as Josh hits the wall, gives her the lead of the race. So from 5th place on the grid, Gemma is now leading the Monaco Grand Prix with 5 laps to go. Of course, now she has the same problem that Josh just had. Can she get past these two laps? Can she lap these two? Laps Michael. Michael being a lot more cooperative than he was with Josh, it must be said. As Greg has a brake problem, we're hearing, and is coming into the pits to fix it. Very unfortunate for Greg. He was running in a fantastic 4th place, and that will drop him out of the points. And Kim, it turns out, could not complete the race from that problem that she had earlier with 1 tank of fuel and get those soft tyres to the end. So she's had to pit again. That will drop her out of the points too. So now, running in points paying positions, we have Izzy and Angel. And Chris, from 19th on the grid, is now up to 8th position. Can he get past Lawrence for 7th? We'll see. As Josh is still behind these two. I really don't want to let him through, don't we? Very strange. Gemma's got past both of them now, and now has a comfortable 5 second, 3.5 seconds, I should say. But Josh is still unable to get past these two laps. Past one of them there. Nearly looking up and going into the wall there, looked like. The car looks very unstable on the brakes. As Alex is in the pits. So something's happened to Alex. This meant that he couldn't go to the end either. And he will drop out of the points. And this moves Kerrod into 10th position. Greg through into 11th. Alex coming up pits now in 14th. So Gemma crosses the line to finish lap 33. 3 laps to go. On her way to potentially winning the first ever Formula Omega race. And what a one to win. Double length, double points. Finish like this, Gemma's lead over Josh would be 10 points. A good way to start the season. Josh now got past the lap cars. He's 5.6 seconds behind. Doesn't really look like he has any chance of getting back into the lead unless Gemma has some kind of problem. Meanwhile, running in a very lonely third place with huge gaps to the cars ahead and behind is Amber. Very good drive for the EcoK team. She'll definitely be happy with this. Here's the battle for 12 points. Mia against Kim. Mia defends the inside. Kim trying to get past up the hill, but there's no space there. Of course, Alex is trying to get through too. Both of these cars have been much faster all race, and they have the advantage of fresh tyres. But critically, Mia has track position. And if she can defend aggressively enough without making any mistakes, she can probably hold on to it. Here's Kim going for a move and runs into the back of Mia. Nearly spins the car at the chicane. Somehow manages to hold on to the position ahead of Alex. So Mia will stay in 12th place. Both of them very lucky to get away with that. Let's have a look at their replay. So Mia, Kim just a huge amount faster, but realises there's not going to be any space to get through on the inside. Tries to turn back in, but just braking too late and runs into the back of Mia. Luckily, both of them get away without that. Gemma starts the final lap. 1 lap to go before she claims first ever Formula Omega race win. You've got to imagine that if Elise hadn't broken down early on, she would have been about 30 or 40 seconds ahead of everyone at this point. But clearly that car, which didn't participate in either of the test races, not quite reliable enough. And finished first you have to finish. Well, with just a few corners left to go, it looks like Gemma's going to do that. Point leading by about 7 seconds ahead of Josh. Pretty clearly the fastest car on the track. Though still running. And she comes through the final corner. Gemma will win the first ever Formula Omega race. Second place will be Josh. Good drive from him, though be disappointed to have lost it the way he did.
Excellent drive, 6 points.
Third place will be Amber for EcoK. Very good podium finish for her. Fourth will be Alba, after starting 10th on the grid. Great drive from her. Fifth will be Anna. Sixth is Lawrence. 7th is Chris, who started 19th to come up to 7th place. Incredible pace all the way through the race. 8th is Angel. 9th is Izzy, and rounding out the points in 10th place is Carrot for the Vulcan team. So, Gemma is the race winner of the first ever Formula Omega race. Thank you all for watching. Goodbye.